The Forsworn conspiracy is my favourite side quest within the whole of gaming. Now you might be thinking, surely something from Red Dead 2 for example, or The Witcher 3 or any other game out there might end up beating it, but for all of them, I say, what about them? I just love this side quest for many different reasons. This just ends up fitting into the game perfectly and actually is a quest that inhabits the world perfectly. The expansion of the lore as well and understanding to the player to connect to the area of the map that you're within, which overall is kind of a more forgettable area of the game. And just the way you're taken from everything you're doing and just dropped into having to do this side quest, which is sometimes annoying, but this quest does it perfectly with the greatest length that you could go for when it comes to this sort of thing, and then not getting you bored at the same time. Now this quest will end up starting off the moment you walk into Markarth. A stranger will be murdered right in front of you and there's nothing you can do to stop it, presumably, but you can if you choose to. You'll end up picking up a letter about the Forsworn conspiracy which will start off this entire quest line. Which the entire conspiracy is effectively around the idea of who truly runs Markarth. Is it the Forsworn or the Jarl? Like, who is it? Is another exterior family? That is pretty much the whole plot of this side quest. And I genuinely say this entire plot of the side quests, like, easily outmatches anything the game could give with its main story, across the board. And overall, does a better job at making good side content that fits within a world than almost most games out there with a lot of their side content. There's a typical theme with an open world fantasy games, which is they have a few good side quests, which I'd definitely say Skyrim does the same thing. However, all round this one just fits in perfectly. And one of the things that makes this quest even better is the idea that you're going around the city where everyone knows to a degree how bad the corruption actually is, but no one bats an eye as they don't really want it to change. It'll bring you to unravel the exact mystery of the market incident, and what the assassin meant by the reach belongs to the Forsworn. After doing some investigative work, you'll end up being arrested by some guards who are either corrupt or they are very lazy. Either or. You don't really get told in the game. I personally think they're just overall corrupt. That's the main thing. But they are pinning all of the murders that have happened on you so that you can be taken to one place. Now this one place is Sidma Mine, which ends up starting the next quest within the Forsworn conspiracy of No One Escapes Sidma Mine. You end up learning that the Forsworn in fact have control of the mine and or were just arrested and shoved down this mine. You find out a lot more of the backstory of who the Forsworn are, what their history is, why they've been put in jail, and effectively what it is that they want to do. Now I always end up siding with the Forsworn in this regard, purely because I just find that their story is more of a interesting one overall, and also you get the cool little area that you can go to later on where the Forsworn won't kill you, but you do get given the option to kill the guy who's leading the Forsworn in there. I've forgotten how you actually pronounce his name, so I'm not going to give it a try, but yeah, you do get the choice that you could kill him if you want to. The guards will be perfectly fine with you, let you go and so on. However, you do also get the option of helping the Forsworn, and you can do one that gives you option to help both. However, I'd just say help the Forsworn, it's more fun. You end up going out and the Forsworn are going to fight the city guards until they're able to escape, and you end up going to that new encampment. But all of this is my favourite side quest, because it truly digs into what makes Skyrim so great. Nobody thinks when they're talking about Skyrim that the main story is what's particularly special, but in fact it is the lore of this game that truly builds why people love this game and the whole of the Elder Scrolls franchise so much. It tells you the story of a corrupted system in the Imperial cities, the rebels who want their land back and to live by the rules that they have chosen. And all of this is wrapped up in a great story coating. From the moment you enter Markarth with the assassination, to getting to know the Forsworn and why they are truly doing the things that they're doing. For me, I love this side quest purely because of the ability to have a story which isn't exactly uncommon, but it makes sense within the setting and explains it perfectly with a great mix of characters. All round, I think that anyone who hasn't played this quest definitely needs to go and give it a go. It's one of the first ones that I do every single playthrough, because what I typically do in all my Skyrim playthroughs now, just because I prefer doing this, is I end up doing the first, major bit where you're killing your first dragon, and then I'll go down to Falkreath, and then go all the way through from Falkreath to Markarth and so on, and explore all that area. And I think the Forsworn definitely make a good little, extra area, an extra little layer to the whole idea of what's going on within the world of Skyrim and so on at that point of time. Yeah, if you haven't tried out this quest, please go play it. It's definitely one of the best ones in the whole game, and in my opinion, one of the best within many different games out there. With all that being said though, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. A little bit shorter one for you today, just talking about my favourite side quest. Let me know what your thoughts are on this quest in particular, and if you have one that you personally think is miles better. And I might cover some other side quests at some point in the future, discussing the roles that they have within the worlds and so on, and trying to be a little bit more of a deeper dive within them. But yeah, with that being said, I'll see you guys next week. Have a good one.